Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're going to talk about something fairly interesting. You see, recently discovered by Cafe Zero on Reddit, a character artist at Creative Assembly known as Robin Bennis, I'm not too sure if I'm actually pronouncing his surname correctly, posted a still of Scrag the Slaughterer, a link to his ArtStation below, as there's some pretty cool stuff there. Now, what's actually really interesting is the fact that the caption says, Ogre Scrag from Total War Warhammer 3 made back in 2018. Now, Robin's worked on some pretty impressive things for Total War Warhammer, so yeah, you'll want to check out the ArtStation, believe me. But 2018 is quite a while back, isn't it, considering that Total War Warhammer was originally supposed to release in 2001 but got moved to 2002. Obviously there was a delay there, so it's very curious that they were working on the Ogre Kingdoms so early on. And there's a few things that I want to talk about. Obviously first, it could be the case that maybe we were supposed to get Total War Warhammer 3 maybe a year earlier in 2020, but there were delays. As you are aware, DLC was pretty much starting to stagnate there. There was a lot of content droughts, and that's because, you know, there was an event that stopped the world for a while, which I can't say the name or else, you know, YouTube then gets a little bit annoyed. So it could be that the game was delayed then, or it could just be the case that they were already thinking about the factions and starting to get headway done sooner, which is very possible too. This was still an army that they had, obviously, army books for, and it's much easier to produce the Ogre Kingdoms than, say, Cathay or Kislev. Now, it's very possible that the Ogres were originally planned for a DLC for Total War Warhammer 2, maybe they wanted to do the original route. If you remember in Warhammer 1, Norska was available then and then was available much later in Warhammer 2's lifespan due to some issues. But maybe they had that plan originally and then they thought probably best not to do so, or else we'll likely run into the same issues. It could be possible that their internal roadmap works in a completely different way, where they're already producing concepts for loads of DLC stuff and even obviously base game stuff further down the line, so they could already have a basic idea and then see how they're going to run with it, what needs to change, and so on. Because the tools used for Scrag are as follows: ZBrush, Quixel Suite, which I think CA used, I'm not 100% too sure, but the last one was Unreal Engine, and I don't imagine that Unreal Engine stuff would kind of port too well to the pretty dated engine that we have now. I could be wrong, I don't really understand tech too much. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. This could potentially mean that they're actually planning ahead for future DLCs quite like this. Say, for example, if the Ogre Kingdoms were always planned for 2021, it could just be that they were just getting a lot of work out there, and in the future stuff, they've already got some basic concepts for DLC a few years down the line. They obviously have some sort of internal roadmap, and yeah, I know that roadmap is a very strange word for Creative Assembly, especially since we don't have the one that they're supposed to put out to the public. But internally, they could have a lot more plans, and maybe some developers are already kind of working on those roadmap items just to kind of see how could this work visually, how could it look, a basic idea. Because once you have Scrag and a few ogres, then you can kind of work on the rest of the faction now, can't you? I don't know, something like this seems a bit more realistic to me. I would love to believe that this would be the case. I doubt that Creative Assembly would actually freely admit this, or, you know, just state, yeah, we work on stuff very early. Though we do know that Warhammer 3 was being worked on for quite some time. I don't know. I'm hoping it's the last thing. I'm hoping it's just they're getting stuff ready for the future, and it would be kind of cool, because obviously we're expecting DLC to come out a little bit faster, at least I hope so. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. If there's any people who work in game dev, I would really love to hear your opinions. But yeah, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all again very soon. Sorry for the short video. I am trying to get as much work done before I leave to Warhammer Fest. So yeah, as you can imagine, very stressed.